Biden administration is ending student loan relief, and the whole system kicks back up in about 6 weeks. Of course, progressives are apoplectic because they feel President Biden should wave his grandfatherly magic walking stick and cancel all student debt, which would immediately overburden taxpayers who won't enjoy the extra cash or the fancy degree that comes with it. Nearly 60% of Americans do not hold college degrees, but despite their lack of education, they will be on the hook for free college for all the fancy lads on the liberal arts express. So people who will ultimately be richer than you are stealing your money to pay for their bad choices. Got it. Who loves free college and student loan forgiveness? Progressives. Colleges have long been propaganda factories, and while do-gooder lefties want free school, they despise free speech. Isn't that fun? 42 million people have some form of federal student loan debt, including 36 million with direct loans by themselves add up to $1.35 trillion. Room, board, tuition, and fees will run you a little over $50K a year at a private school. The public route will set you back $22K a year. Most people can't afford rising tuition that supports far beefier administrations than the actual professors, so they take out loans. 92% of those loans are held by Uncle Sam. The government is printing free money to colleges that have zero incentive to manage costs or encourage measures lending to fruitful jobs. So it's no surprise costs are going in the wrong direction. Students have taken notice, many of whom have decided to work and forego a traditional college experience right after high school. College enrollment is down 6.5% since 2019, and it has dropped 14.1% at community colleges, which normally see an influx during financial hardships. Students and their parents who see what's going on in these pinko bastions are giving more thought to delaying college or instead turning to trade schools that offer little debt and higher starting salaries. And sexy calluses, yeah, pipe fitters, woo! Society should never be on the hook for your bad decisions. And it is not your right to have a debt-free experience steeping in the toxic tea of progressivism. I sure as hell am not obligated to indulge your academic whims in the form of high-tax theft. So if it's that important you matriculate, be a responsible bubble dweller, and do a solid cost-benefit analysis before you sign on the dotted line and agree to that student loan. And that's the memo. And of course, AOC and the squad have been squawking about this topic since the dawn of time. Here they are making their case for debt cancellation earlier this month. Roll it, boys.
I have over $17,000 in student loan debt. We have a moral obligation, an economic obligation, a political obligation to cancel student loan debt.
I worked full-time, Monday through Friday, and took weekend classes to get my law degree, and still close to $200,000 in debt.
That's all I hear, literally, a moral obligation. That is not within the purview of the federal government, my lovelies. I am not responsible to pay your debt. The party panel is back. Jason Meister, Dave Smith, and Kelly Hyman. Jason, I think this is a bit of good news from the Biden administration. Good for them.
It sure is, and I couldn't agree more with your memo. If you borrowed money to become a neo-Marxist who has a gender studies and sociology degree, that's on you. And also, more importantly, if you're flabbergasted, surprised, shocked, astounded that Joe Biden isn't going to relieve you of your student loan debt and actually believe that just like you believed he was going to shut down the virus, then you haven't been paying attention to Joe Biden's 50-year career in politics, where the only break he's ever given was to his son Hunter and his political donors. So now you go get a real job with your gender studies degree, and good luck with that, because your president just put a wrecking ball into the economy.
Dave, are we obligated to pay for college as a society?
No, of course not. I mean, look, I agree with all of you guys, and it's insane, the idea that we'd be obligated to pay. Like, the person who's not privileged enough to go to college is obligated to go get a job and then pay his taxes to pay for the privileged person who went to college. So I agree with all of that. I'll also say that what's frustrating, Kennedy, and I'm sure you feel my frustration on this, is it's like only libertarians understand anything about economics. So we're the only ones who even understand like what a price is. So when someone says something like they go, well, look, I became a lawyer and I still have 200 grand of unpaid debt that I can't pay back. It's like, well, that is information. And the information is that that cost was not worth it. That's if you're not making enough money to pay that back, then you spent something you shouldn't have. But I will say this. It is not, of course we shouldn't forgive student loan debts, but it's not as if this has not been an evil scheme from the very beginning.
Amen.
Where, as you pointed out, there's no incentives for college to lower the prices, but let's be even more blunt. The reason college is so expensive is because the government got in the business of guaranteeing loans for college and then just started giving out the loans altogether. And you would have drastic price inflation in any industry if loans were guaranteed to buy that product. We've created a culture where we encourage every kid, even like C-minus students, that they have to go spend 4 years after high school drinking beer and pretending to read. This is insane. And yeah, we've trapped a lot of kids in this who now are working at Starbucks, living at home, and have 6 figures of debt. And it is pretty messed up, the situation that the entire system has put them in. Now, it's not on some blue-collar worker to bail them out.
No.
However, we could acknowledge that this was wrong. This whole system, the idea that we encourage super smart people should go to college and read books for 4 years after high school. The vast majority of the rest of us should go figure out how we can contribute to our fellow man.
Kelly, your response?
I think it's important for everyone to have an opportunity to get education, whether they're at trade schools or grad schools. I came out of school with 6 figures in debt, and so I understand that, and it's very difficult having that amount of debt. But I think it's a personal decision on what's best for you and what you want, whether, as you said, to go to trade school, you want to go to grad school, or not go to school at all. It's your personal decision. And absolutely, people should be held accountable if they have the student debt to pay that. But there is also options as well to consolidate your student loans and have one payment, or it's based on your salary as well. There's always options as well. But I think it's important that people have access to whatever educations that they need and potentially
There's plenty of access. There's plenty of access. There are 3,000 colleges and universities in this country, and people can partake in a number of them. People can also read on their own. People can also look at courses on YouTube. People can do all sorts of things in order to get the same information that is being taught in college with no debt at all. Didn't you see Good Will Hunting? How about them apples?